about this album, The Getaway. What could be the biggest challenge about making this album?
I guess, you know, I mean, it's always a challenge if you're going to do something good. Like, if you're willing to, like, make yourself vulnerable enough and get out of your comfort zone and to reach for something you haven't done before, you always take the risk of total failure. With Brian, Danger Mouse, he really wanted us to create in the studio and to not, like, he didn't even come to the rehearsal studio. And he was like, let's try, you know, we had a bunch of songs that we had written already. He goes, okay, that's cool, you know, we'll use some of those, but I really want to try and for you guys to create in the studio and to build tracks layer by layer, not just jam it all live, you know. And you know, he comes from a hip hop background and doing a lot of that. And you know, I was worried that we might lose the part of us that I love. Like, we might lose when you play live. There's like a spontaneity and a warmth and a human interaction that we have is very powerful, you know. And I was worried we might lose that. But we came strong. He came strong, and we made something new together, you know. And from the first hour in the studio, we got together and started creating in this way. It was so exciting, and I could tell we were making something new and something beautiful and something different. And you know, it was really healthy for us to change the process and do something completely new. And it made us think in a different way. It made us play in a different way.
Songs.
You know, we always. Well, if you start with my Ticonderoga, or this Ticonderoga, sorry, the titles changed, the record's so new. It started off, like, I remember I was lying in bed, waking up one morning and like half asleep, and I was like, you know when you're just kind of waking up and you're still sort of dreaming, I was and I was like, God, that's good. So I ran downstairs to the piano, and I needs another part, and I started doing this slow, funky part. Robot is different. Like, that's something we wrote in the studio too, the rehearsal studio before we met Brian. But when we got in there, we really changed the groove. He said, okay, you already wrote it, but let's record it differently than you normally, and let's try this different way.
You played as a special guest in the last Kobe Bryant game.
Yeah, I played the national anthem. Yeah.
How was it? How was the experience?
The experience was cool. I mean, I've done an anthem a lot of times for the Lakers because I love Lakers. You know.
Yeah, but this is Black Mamba last.
Yeah, the Black Mamba's last game, and I wanted to honor him. But usually when I do it, I afterwards I play it. I go, I'm always sort of thinking, fuck, I could have done it better. You know, I should have done a better job. You know. But with Kobe, I went out and I was like, I really went for it, and I felt really emotional, and I played very free, you know, really free. I moved the melody around a little bit and stuff, and you know how I think you should be, you know, if you're going to be a musician, you got to play, you know. Anybody can paint by numbers, you know what I mean? So I did it, and I walked back to my seat to watch a game, and I was thinking in my head, I did it great that time.
Great,
this time I did a good job. I sat down, my little girl, my 10-year-old daughter was, Papa, you're great. But the crazy thing was, the next day I'm reading in a newspaper, he was terrible, it was awful, Flea's terrible, he destroyed the national anthem. Yeah.
Your experience with that, with Adam for Peace, with New York?
Great. It was great. You know, we've done a few tours, and you know, with Tom and with Nigel and Joey and Mauro, and you know, Nigel who produces Radiohead and plays in Adams for Peace with us. He mixed the Chili Pepper record too, which was really, really awesome of him, and he did such a good job. But playing with them is, you know, really different, and I like whenever I play with anyone different, I learn. You know, I learn. And Tom is such a great musician. You know, every time he picks up the guitar, sits at the piano, sings, it's great. You know, it's beautiful. He just has he's very immediate. He doesn't fuck around. He goes straight to the music, you know. And, you know, we can just jam and jam. Like, we get in the room and we just start jamming for hours, you know what I mean? And
we're going to ask you, in the last 6 months, sadly we have lost a lot of great artists. I'm going to ask you about two, and tell me your experience with them started from Motorhead, Lemmy Kilmister.
Yeah, I mean, man, I saw Motorhead play a few years ago, and I was so, like 3 years ago or something, and I was so blown away by, I mean, Motorhead's great. Everybody knows they're great, but Lemmy is an incredible bass player. I mean, yes, he has a distinctive voice, and he's wild, and he's a rocker, and he looks cool, and all the crazy stories and everything. But purely as a musician, he has such a unique sound and a beautiful sound and a way of playing the bass that no one else has ever played the bass like that.
Now, another great artist, Prince.
Yeah, I mean, Prince, you know, he's one of the funkiest guys ever. You know, he's the guy that kind of like after P-Funk, you know, and Funkadelic, like for me, you know, he was the next step of the funk, you know, and you know, like especially in the beginning of our band, we really listened to a lot of Prince, you know. Remember we used to listen to Kiss, you know, and that song In Time, and you know, Controversy and Dirty Mind and all that stuff, like me and Halal, like we were really into that, you know. We used to just like party at his house, like, you know, smoking joints, listening to Prince, like.
That really changed my perception of them. You know, I didn't expect that many losses in so few months. It changed your perception of them with all these losses?
I don't know. I mean, it feels like the end of an era, like something's changing, like really like Bowie, you know, like Bowie, like, you know, I mean, kind of like Prince, but even more so for me.
It's called Wild, that he was younger, but also...
Yeah, I mean... But someone like Bowie, who just made record after record after record after record after record of genius, incredible songs, so smart, so creative, so beautiful, so like touched my heart so deeply so many times, was really like just an institution of the fabric of how I grew up, you know. And then he's gone, all of a sudden he's gone. He puts out a new record. I'm sitting, the day the record comes out, I'm sitting that night listening in the headphones, just going, fuck, he's still so amazing. And I wake up in the morning and he's dead? Are you kidding me? Man, it really is a difficult change, you know. I feel like the world is a different place. So, you know, it shows all of us, like, our life is short, man. You know, the times that we have, like, let's not be mean-spirited, let's not be cruel, let's not be selfish, let's think about what can we give that's beautiful to the world, like nothing else matters. Like, yeah, we all do our stupid shit in life.
Okay. Started a long time ago, give it away.
Well, the first thing I remember was the guy who directed it, his name was Stéphane Sednaoui, this French dude, and he showed up, you know, to meet with us the first time, and he was wearing a skirt, like a dress. Yeah. And we were like, fuck, he's wearing a dress, he's cool, you know, this guy's cool. And he had this idea, and he showed us a picture of a girl lying on a rock. And he goes, you see this picture? This picture? And we're like, yeah. He goes, the video will not be like this. It's not like this, something different. Yeah. I was like, okay, so it's not going to be a girl on a rock. I know. You know, and we're just like, he's fucking crazy.
The other one, down in California.
Yeah, I mean...
A lot of changes.
Yeah. It was just a great idea by Tony Kaye, the director in that. He had the really good idea of us going through music history and taking iconic bands and people from every era that we loved and you know, creating those people throughout the course of the song. It was just a great idea, and it really worked, and it was so funny and fun to do it.
Which was your favorite costume?
Bootsy.
Obviously.
Yeah, I like being Bootsy, but I also like being you know, the Beatles, like the 50s Beatles.
The 50s Beatles.
Yeah.
About the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which two shows has to be on the movie, in your opinion?
Like concerts that we've done? Well, I would say the first show we ever did at the Café de Grand in Hollywood in February of 1983.
You remember talking?
Oh yeah, no, actually it wasn't at the Café de Grand, it was at the Grandia Room. That show was pretty, must have been, I would love to see a film of that. That was before people had camera phones everywhere, so nothing got filmed back then. And then, man, I don't know, you know, there's some shows that we did, like in 92 when we were touring with Smashing Pumpkins and Pearl Jam, and we were just like, right when Blood Sugar came out, and we were fucking insane, you know. Like, I think we were really discovering a part of ourselves that we didn't know about, you know.
American culture since you were a kid. What is the thing that you admire most about Latin American culture?
I just grew up with Mexican culture. I'm from LA. I grew up in the streets. I'm a street kid from LA. All my friends were Mexican, you know what I mean? Everything. What's not to like about Mexican culture?
The politics, probably.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, but it's all around the world.
Politics are terrible here too.
Yeah, it's true.
We're gonna make fucking stupid ass Donald Trump president.
Hopefully not.
No, hopefully not. Please.
Yeah, I'm praying to the common sense of all the people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the crazy thing about that is like the people who are saying he should be president, like, I understand they're frustrated.
Yeah.
They don't have any money. They don't have any work. They're pissed off. They feel let down by the government, and they're frustrated. They want something new. He's saying he's going to change everything.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this is a guy. His whole life, all he has ever done is accumulate money and power for himself and fuck everybody else. Cheat, scam, hustle to get things for himself. He never cared about anybody who's having a hard time. He's never been philanthropic. He's never been compassionate or kind or generous ever in his life.
And he's not going to change it.
And it's not. So why do they think that he's going to care about them? He doesn't care about them.
Totally agree.
He's cheap, you know. And I understand they're frustrated. I get it.
But that's not the solution.
But he's just going to like use it to give himself power. So anyways, but that whole thing just makes me sad. It hurts my heart.
A couple of years ago, lockdown, and after probably a decade without acting, how was the experience, and why did you say, okay, this is the right time to come back again to movies?
Yeah, well, you know, Lowdown was written by this girl called Amy Albany, and Amy, she had a jazz musician for a parent, and Amy's the same age as me. She grew up in Hollywood with her father, who was a jazz musician, a junkie.
Yeah.
And he was a brilliant musician, but he was a junkie, so it was, you know, a disaster too. But he was a beautiful guy. And so she wrote a memoir, and it got made into a movie. It's a story about a kid growing up in Hollywood in the 70s with a junkie jazz musician parent. I grew up in Hollywood in the 70s with a junkie jazz musician parent. I look at that movie and I see my childhood, you know. So yeah, it was just like it resonated with me so personally that I had to be a part of it. But you know, I also so it was a very emotional experience for me doing that movie.
Of course, I have the Big Lebowski T-shirt.
Yeah.
I have to ask you the memory about being part of such a cold movie as the Big Lebowski.
You know, they had just made Fargo, which was so good.
Great,
I mean, Fargo was such a beautiful movie. And when they asked me to be in the Big Lebowski, I was just excited. I was just awesome, you know. And it was just a great experience, you know, like watching those guys work, Joel and Ethan Coen. Like, I mean, they're kind of like the great American filmmakers, you know. The way that they work is so relaxed. Like, they're just like two stoner brothers, you know. I guess you picture Jeff Bridges, and he was such a great.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, the Jesus. Don't fuck with the Jesus. But Jeff in particular, like, I'm a big fan of his, and he was so cool, you know. And I remember him talking to me about the nature of the film industry, and just kind of. And it's the same with the record business. He's like, it's changing so much, man. All they care about is money now. Like, they don't. It used to be like, you know. All they cared about was making good movies. Now they just care about money.
It's an honor. Thank you so much for that. This
interview.
As always, it's a pleasure and congratulations. I think The Getaway, it's a great album, and it's great to see you doing what you love, and you can see it on the album. So thank you so much.
Cool, thanks, man. Yeah, it just feels good to be excited, you know.
Bien, cool. Si ya lo vieron, hermanos, estamos con Flea. Continuamos con más. Estamos aquí en Telehit. ¡Au!